All right, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have two Mac 10 14s, which are Benelli M4 clones. Turkish made, Turkinellis, whatever you want to call them. Notoriously kind of hiccupy when it comes to actually working. So we're gonna put them through the gambit today. We have a bunch of different, mostly birdshot, actually all birdshot today. A bunch of different brands, but that's pretty much the thing that it has the biggest problem with. So if we are gonna run into issues, we'll run into them today. So we're just gonna give you honest feedback on what that is. So we do have these two Mac 10 14s. This one's mine, this one's Sam's. He also brought out his SPX Tactical Mossberg Shockwave, which is a pump action, so that's gonna be our control for today. Mossberg Shockwave, XPS Tactical, 2 rounds. This is 5 shot, so shouldn't have any hiccups. About what you'd expect, flawless.
One thing I love about this SPX is that it has a sliding safety on the back for your thumbs, right next to where your thumb goes. Makes it a lot easier, a lot more accessible, especially a home defense situation. You always know where it's at. Obviously this thing is going to be loaded at all times, but let's see if we get a good control group right here. All right, there's the SPX.
All right, next up, Mac 10 14. This one is Sam's. He's got upgraded a little bit through a Strike Industries hail rail handguard on here, as well as the burst fast fire up top. So send 2 shots, same thing, 5 shot, bird shot. All right, so it's cycled, didn't get hung up. We'll keep it going.
Couple things I love about this right here is its size. Size does matter. Obviously, it's more comfortable. It's got that stock on it, able to lock in with it. Got this beautiful hand guard up here. Does have an M-LOK system on the bottom and giant Picatinny rail system on the top. Obviously, you can put something way bigger than this burst fast fire on here. It does come with factory sights, front and rear. But let's give it a go, see how this thing does. These do take, obviously, just like basically another shotgun, 2 3/4 inch or 3-inch shells. So I'm gonna fire some 3-inch. He just fired some 2 3/4 inch out of here. So let's see how this goes. All right, cycled pretty well. Obviously the 3-inch does a lot more power damage to your shoulder, but besides that, cycled really well. Pretty good gun in my opinion.
All right, so this guy, this is mine. I have a lead and steel LP1 Promethean on top. Other than that, I did throw a +2 magazine tube extension on here, which brings me up to 7 in the tube. Ghost loaded, I can get up to 9, but I'm just gonna put 2 in here and see how it does. So I got hung up. All right. So both of those were not great.
All right, so like Zayn was just saying, the only difference between this Mac 10 14 and the other one is this does have the extender on it. So we're gonna see if the extender for some reason is playing a part in any failure feeds or anything like that, but it could just be the shotgun takes a second to get broken into. So let's see how it goes. So there was a failure to feed on that one. So we're gonna be right back. Let's see if it's the shells, because we were using 2 3/4, so we'll put some 3 inches in there, see if that works.
Yeah, we're gonna see if this works any better. I've got some Magnum birdshot, some Remington Nitro Mag, 3-inch shells, and should work a little bit better, I think. At least give it some more power to cycle with. Oh Lord, it is a Magnum. Yeah, it cycles. Jesus Christ.
Zayn just shot some Magnum bird shot out of this, so we're gonna see if we're gonna see how much kick this thing has and make sure it cycles properly. All right, let's see how it goes. Yeah, that's a lot more powerful. You definitely feel it. It's like waking up and getting hit in the head with a hammer.
All right, so I was having some issues before we started filming. We'd sent a couple shots through here just to see if the light even shoot at all. At first, I was having 0 issues to cycle, and then, you know, it started to be a thing. You just saw on camera, it started to be a thing, especially getting super hung up. The Magnum's fired perfectly fine. I've got 2 more different Magnum turkey loads here. I'm gonna put these through here, see if it can just kind of loosen that up a little bit. Then we're gonna run some super lights and see if that'll cycle. But keep in mind, this is a combat shotgun, so it's really meant for buckshot and slugs, that sort of thing. Yep, no issues. That one wasn't as bad as the last one, actually.
All right, same gun, different problem. This problem is called 4-shot. Let's see if we're gonna have any hang-ups or issues with this. No issues. Also, just a side note, this Burris Fast Fire 3 is holding up beautifully. It gives you that direct point of aim that you're wanting. So it's really good for home defense, tactical use. You don't need some big sight on there if you don't want it. But this does give you a pretty big red dot in the middle. So just for y'all to know.
All right, I got some, what are these, Winchester? Yeah. I got some Winchester target load, some super light. It's low brass and it's super light, which are 2 things that these kind of don't like. So if anything fails, it's these. Let's see if we can get it to work though. Ideally it does. Yep, so that didn't cycle. So failure to feed. See, that one didn't even extract and didn't feed, so. And I didn't get locked back on that last shot either. Yep. So those are not super great. We'll see if Sam's can work.
All right, so we're back at it. Mac 1014, but this time we're gonna be using the super lights. So obviously these are low brass, just like Zayn was talking about, but we're gonna throw them in this one, see what we get out of it. So both of them cycled, which was great. We'll try 2 more just in case to see, because they didn't give me any problems. So give me 1 second. All right, so we're gonna do the super lights again, low brass, but we're gonna try 5 in a row, see if that has anything to do with it. So we had 5 in a row right there. Had no problems at all, ejecting, extracting, anything like that. So it's working pretty well. So we're gonna try the same 5 shots with Zayn's gun, his Mac 1014, and to see if there's an issue. I know he's had some problems cycling, but let's see if there's an issue with that. All right, let's give it a go. All right, so I had a couple failure to feeds there. Not sure exactly what the issue is there.
Safe to say it's not me, it's the shotgun.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shoot 10 rounds through this SPX. We'll see how it does. These are all bird shot, all 2 3/4 inch. Let's see how it goes. All right, worked pretty well. Pretty pleased with it. Got some salt and pepper.
Yeah.
This is, let's see how she does. All right, everything cycled very well. Pretty zeroed with that dot, so that's pretty cool. So y'all should pick y'all one up.
All right, so this thing, it's been giving me issue all day. I'm just gonna load it all the way up, see what we get. This is just the data portion, and this is gonna suck, but you know, you gotta do it. So give us a like and subscribe. All right, that was surprising actually. So I didn't expect that. It went through all 9 shots flawlessly. Maybe it's just breaking in now. So I'll load it back up, see if it does it again. So this time it's not ghost loaded. Just got 8 in here. See if it goes.
All right, these are the final thoughts for the Mac 1014.
So we learned some stuff today. Same shotgun likes him and just likes to run in general. Mine was kind of being finicky at the start, but we put some rounds through it and it started to actually cycle pretty consistently. So I would just chalk that up to being like a break-in period, to be honest, which they do recommend putting 100 rounds to break it in of like full power. So they're probably not wrong. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think we learned?
Definitely think that just depends on the shot. The bigger the load, payload, it's obviously going to help the gun cycle more. It's going to really ram back just the bolt in general. If it's a lighter load, if the gun isn't broken in as much, it's just going to take a lot longer to break that in. The Mossberg SPX basically came broken in. It's just a piece of metal that can shoot a bullet. So it felt pretty broken in as soon as we started. These are obviously semi-automatic. There's going to be problems with feeding and breaking in, but with that being said, they did pretty well for being broken in fairly quickly. It was done. Obviously, these are both really good clones, and the fact that you're able to get the custom hand guards, you're able to have that Picatinny system on the top, definitely really helps, especially if people are new to shotguns, looking to get something tactical for themselves. It's a pretty good option, I would say. So
I'd say 100%. For the money, you know, we did have some issues, but like I said, it's probably just break-in. And we'll continue to report on that, probably update a little bit, but I'm thinking for the money, for a budget-oriented tactical shotgun, you really can't do any better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's, you know, still keep your pump, don't throw that thing out. There's a purpose for that, you know, 100% reliability or as close to it as you could get. But if you're looking to really, you know, put some lead down range quickly and just have it ready to go, this might be your ticket for like less than 500 bucks. So yeah.
All right.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you want to see. So I'll see you guys.
See you next time.